And this film, it obviously it's two of you being reunited, but it's also Martin McDonagh who wrote, directed In Bruges. And did you make this in a similar way, where you had a big long period of rehearsal?
Yeah.
That was a great bit.
It's
magic.
3 weeks.
You never get that in film. I mean, did you rehearse your piece?
No.
You never get it in film. Sure, you don't. 3 weeks. It was like a theatrical. It was like doing a piece of theatre, you know.
And is it true that you guys, because you're not speaking for much of this film, you were discussing whether or not you should speak?
I was a bit concerned when we started work. I remember thinking, fuck, I mean, if he doesn't want, because Brendan goes very deep into the work, and if he wants to, you know, demark a line that we shouldn't, and I thought, oh, God, I'll honour it, of course, if that's what he needs, genuinely.
Yeah,
but,
no, it was funny. We just went in and said, listen, do we need to keep a bit of a distance between us? And we both were looking at each other, wondering, did the other person need it? And like, I
thought, is he asking for me or for him?
And it just went a second and a half later, we simultaneously went, nah.
Give us a hug. Give us a snuggle. No, not that kind of snuggle.
No.
Where did you shoot? It was so beautiful.
Oh, so beautiful, so stunning.
In Ishmore, in the Aran Islands off Galway, and then in Achill Island, which is a little bit up. And there was a combination of the two, and we stayed there on the island, 750 people, for 3 weeks. And so we'd be, meeting each other on the road on a day off. Hey,
Brendan. Hey, Brendan.
So it merged into it, yeah.
But there were tourists there.
Yeah, there was. On any given day during the summer, there could be 2,000 tourists coming in on boats and planes and cycling around, renting the bicycles and horses.
He had an interesting kind of a...
Shut up.
Yeah, they have horse-drawn, carts that they kind of carry tourists around and stuff. And Colin, as he likes to do, went out for a jog. Yeah, I'd let you tell it.
Oh, carry on. No, I was just going for... And it was a warm summer's day, and I had my shirt off and jogging in my little runner shorts with slit up here. Only a couple of inches, moving along. And, anyway, one day there was a horse and cart and there was 6 people on the back of it, and all of a sudden I noticed that they were only keeping 10 feet ahead of me with all their cell phones up on the video. So I stopped and pretend to have a bit of a stretch and touch my toes and that, and they'd stop, and then I go... So I'd start running again, and then they'd take off again. So for about an hour we kept about 10 feet apart, and then I thought, feck this, I see a hill coming. There's no way the horse can get up that hill as fast as I can run. Well, we were neck and neck for about half a mile. And just before we got to the centre of town on Innisford, the horse took it. The horse took it.
And Naomi Harris, great to have you on the show. And what's interesting about you is actually you take such kind of variety of roles. So people may not even know that they enjoyed you in Pirates of the Caribbean. Because that's you, which is quite a strong look.
It's a very strong look. I tried to actually rock that look very unsuccessfully, actually. The, black lipstick and the dreadlocks. It's not good in real life.
No. Where did you try to rock that look?
Just out on a Friday night, as you do.
Yeah, who's she? She's been watching Pirates of the Caribbean. And the odd thing about when you're making a movie like this, Daniel, you do hurt yourself a lot. Like in the previous ones, what's happened to you?
I've had my right shoulder reconstructed. I've had this left knee operated on, my right knee operated on. My thumb hurts.
Dry scalp.
A lot. Itchy crotch.
It's very difficult. So you get to do all the action and running around. And Naomi, now last time you did. You trained, you were out there. We've got a shot of you giving it your all. Here you are, look at that.
Great.
She cares. I think Naomi cares a lot more than that lady does. Does she even know she's in it? She looks like, why are they filming me shopping?
I don't think she's in the movie.
Didn't you have a thing when you were doing action stunts with a... Was that an extra when you were doing the driving?
I had to drive into a crowd of people, and everybody, all the extras, were supposed to part like a C for the car, as you would do from a moving vehicle coming in your direction. And one extra decided to just be a kamikaze and just dive in front of the car. So I almost ran him over, which was absolutely terrifying.
Was that a money-making scheme on his part?
What scheme? I don't know what was going through his head, but no, I didn't hit him because I have very good
Very
reflex.
good driving skills.
Yes.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. Because after the Avengers movies, presumably you've got a lot of children that come up to you, Jeremy, wanting pictures and things.
Yeah, that's the best part of it all. Yeah, for sure. They, you know, before the Avengers, the kids would run away from me, but now I play a superhero. Then they come around, and it's the most amazing thing.
But why did you frighten children?
It's. I think
You were thinking it. You were thinking, why are the children running away?
Other than it's really fun.
It's his resting face.
It's a resting face I was born with, and you know, I built a career around it, so it's awesome.
So right now you look kind of twinkly.
Well, because I'm smiling. Yeah, but when I'm just thinking about, like, hey, that is a really amazing looking suit. It looks like I might want to hurt you, right? But I'm thinking, like, oh my God, that's a beautiful suit. But if I'm just thinking about it, it looks like I might want to choke you.
Yes, I see it. That is scary. But it's interesting you mentioned the Full Monty. So, talking about you don't know something's a hit when you're in it, you really didn't see hit written on Full Monty.
I thought it was a load of this business. It was a tough shoot. Full Monty was a tough shoot. It really was. Honestly, everybody sees him doing it. They've all heard this, so.
Don't mind doing it again.
No.
How horrible was it?
Horrible. I tell you, it was so horrible that when the people, Fox Searchlight, who'd made it, they saw the first cut of this thing and they went straight to video. That's what they said.
Wow.
It was just very, very tough. And the guy, the producer at the time, Umberto, he kind of begged Fox Searchlight and said, "Look, we've got 100 movies here. This guy shot the ass off this thing." He said, "So give us a chance, you know." So he and they kind of get rid of the editor, they get rid of the director, and Umberto and Nick Moore they brought on as an editor. They cut together what you saw, and this thing went from like almost straight to video. To date, it's taken about 400 million or something.
Well, to the Oscars. It went to the. It was up against Titanic and. What
astonishing.
Crazy,
astonishing.
yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. Not you. And despite the extreme temperatures, ladies and gentlemen, romance blossoms.
Yeah.
Yes. And here's the thing. Idris Elba, you would think of, we think of Idris Elba as a leading man, ladies' man, but you haven't actually done that many love scenes.
No.
Why is that? How is that?
No, I just haven't had the opportunity. I've done a lot of films where there's a lot of guys. No, it's not true. Yeah, I just haven't.
That's no excuse.
No, it's not. You're right. No. I just haven't been. How can I say? I just haven't been in a romantic...
That'd be a real good movie.
What are you saying, Chris?
I'm not.
But no, I haven't. I'm thinking of the tag. Rose in the mountains, some of them.
But the director had never directed a love scene. Is this right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
awkward.
Kate Winslet, step
I'm afraid
forward.
I had to get quite bossy because... So I've done a few of these kinds of scenes before, and so we get there, and poor Hanny, our director, he's such a lovely man, and he was really quite nervous, and he had an extensive shot list, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, we are absolutely never going to get all this done. What kind of scene is this anyway? There's like 25 shots. And Idris was... You were a little bit nervous, weren't you?
Not really, no.
OK.
That was my game, to just get in there.
Anyway, so everything was moving quite slowly, and I'm like, right, look, OK, we need to really start filming this. What's with all this kind of chat? And Hanny said, oh, actually, I'm really kind of nervous. I've never done I really haven't shot anything like this before at all. And Idris said, no, and I haven't done much of it either. And I went, OK, boys, OK. Let's put the camera over there, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then Idris said, keep your socks on. And I'm like, keep my socks on? Everything else is off. What's with the socks? He said, no, I've got a foot thing.
I've got a thing, just this thing. Listen, I didn't want their socks to come off and they were,
Hobbit feet.
things going on.
This was a moment. This was a moment.
Oh, my God.
But I have
hammer time.
Listen, I've got very, very big feet, and they're not particularly beautiful feet either. I shall keep them. I shall keep them inside the shoes that they're in. Anyway, so I'm thinking, well, Paul Rudd just doesn't want to see my feet because maybe he just does not like feet in general, and that's the whole thing. It's the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. Idris loves feet.
Listen.
Everyone, take your shoes off.
I can't wait to see this movie.
But Chris, you did a thing. You directed yourself. You directed yourself in a sex scene in Top 5, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
How did that work?
I had a ball. I had a lot of balls. I had a great time, great gals that were down for whatever.
You directed yourself?
I did direct myself, yes.
So, in between takes, would you run over to the monitor, naked, have a quick look, and then come back?
Yes.
Mum, that. That's the way to do it.
Yes.
And in terms of getting the music, the Beatles music, is it you wrote to the Living Beatles and then the Widows?
Yes, you have to... Obviously, Sony control the financial side of it, but Apple, which is the two surviving Beatles and their widows, and the two other widows, control the aesthetic, you know, how it's used, so it's not... so the music isn't misused. And it's incredibly expensive. I mean, it's the most expensive item I've... No, the second most expensive item I've ever had in a film.
What's the first?
Leonardo DiCaprio's fee. So it's like they were beautiful. We showed them the film and they wrote. We got a lovely letter off Ringo and off Olivia, George's widow. Very beautiful letters back from them. So. You know, they don't need to kind of, like, recommend the film, but they gave us the go-ahead to go with the film.
Because you grew up with their music. I mean, you were a kid when they were in the charts and stuff.
Well, I remember being 7 years old, and I have a twin sister, and we used to play upstairs in bed, pretending she was in love with Paul McCartney, so she would play Paul, and I would therefore play John, and we had a younger sister, Bernadette, who was 4, and she would play George or Ringo.
The others.
Anybody.
The numbers, yeah.
But meanwhile, our parents were playing... And the reason we were playing it is because downstairs our parents were playing the original 7-inch singles.
Yeah.
Like Love Me Do and Please Please Me. And you always think of your parents as old, don't you?
Yeah.
But obviously, when I'd been doing this film, I realised they were young then, and they were dancing downstairs to the original Beatles music, which is lovely.
Amazing.
Was it in a Shakespeare play where you had your costume, what do you call that thing? What do they call it? A wardrobe malfunction?
I had a major wardrobe malfunction. I was in a Shakespeare play, a comedy called Love's Labour's Lost, and I played a character called Barone, who has an amazing speech about love. Very romantic speech, full of ardour, where it's off the back of a very high comedic, farcical scene where suddenly it stops and he launches into this lyrical passage about how important it is to love women. And I had these very tight moleskin breeches, and as I got into my stride, they split down the middle.
But that's an odd place for them to split.
Well, can I tell you? I'm glad I was not going commando that day. And I had red polka dot underpants on.
Did people think it was meant to happen?
No, they enjoyed it.
Were you tempted to do it every night after that?
This was on with 3 other actors, and we were barely holding it together. But finally, I got to the end of the speech, and we got a round of applause.
Oh.
I used to do panto. I bet you've not done bloody panto.
No, a matter of time.
30 years ago, I was Dick Whittington in Newcastle. Now, that's theatre for you. I got a bit chubby because I got a bit depressed up there and I was eating at this tea room a lot, Caddix. And I used to go on and I got a bit chubby in my stockings, you know, my Dick Whittington. I go, hello, children. Are you going to be my friend? And I remember a little kid went, no, Jumbo. For you. That's when they talk back. Right, what's your name? Teddy? You know, little in the front, you know, we got like all the nuns are in with the coach party, and it was horrible.
You've been scarred by that.
Ah, I've been scarred by it.
Scarred. Well, scarred. But very exciting because you have worked with the great Dame Judi Dench.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. What was that in?
We had about 10 minutes together, I think, didn't we?
Yeah, well, no, it felt like longer for me, though, very much. Because, no, it was, yeah, because I was, you know, I was so, you know, set aback, I guess, and starstruck that I was trying to be as aware as possible and not forget anything. Do you remember burping just before that take?
I do.
She blamed me. She blamed me for the burp.
And I was playing a big, serious nun.
He was playing a big, serious nun in a big, serious abbey, so the burp was amplified. And, yeah, I got the blame. I told my mum about that.
But so here's the thing. You are here. You are an inspiring person for young people watching this, thinking, oh wow, this is possible. You get a bit of telly. You're in some very good but small British films. How do you go from that to being the lead in Angelina Jolie's big war epic Unbroken?
Well, I don't know. I think you have to just keep knocking. And thankfully, I've been on set with some greats.
Yeah.
Dame Judi Dench, for instance, and Sir Michael Caine. So I've been attentive during them experiences. I guess that backed me up too. So
And then Angelina Jolie, so she cast you.
Yeah.
But why did she end up in Derby?
There's my lift home there. Bless. I don't know. She insisted that she come and meet me family.
Which is very nice.
Absolutely, she didn't need to do that.
But your mother must have been sort of cleaning for a month. Did you have to bring her home? We couldn't have met in a restaurant.
No, we did. We met in a restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Wise.
But yeah, no, she did that. She came and connected with, I guess, my most important people, and then it became a bit of a personal affair, I guess.
Yeah. Which is decent of her. There's something kind of beautiful about seeing someone with a baby kind of who has to get through this.
Yeah, well, there's a bit, like, apart from the first 2 minutes, the film opens on, like, a quite extensive labour scene, and then after that, I'm with a baby in every...
Aye.
Yeah, exactly. Every scene. It was interesting.
Well, I don't want to, this may spoil the movie for you, but Jodie sent us a picture to let some light into the movie magic of giving birth on camera. So you have to pay attention to this picture.
No!
So that's Jodie's real head there.
Yeah.
And then these are Jodie's real legs with the... I like your ankle socks.
Always. Keep your feet warm.
And then these are fake legs. And then is the baby in the bin bag?
That's a bin bag that was hiding the modesty in between takes. Because I was kind of...
of those legs that were fake?
Yeah, but that was where the vagina was out.
Oh, what, the fake vagina?
Like a fake vagina?
Yeah, but it was out. It was out. Everyone
that's so sweet. That's so sweet they were concerned about the fake vagina.
Yeah. Everyone was like, well, just...
Mind you, I think being out is better than being in a bin bag.
I don't know, it made me feel better. I don't know, I felt less exposed.
You look like you're having a great time.
You're doing shoulders like jazz hands.
Everyone was looking after me, bringing me coffee and stuff to keep me awake. Keep me awake.
Clearly an attempt to take a black man down. That's what this is. As soon as I look at that, what are you doing, Kevin? I know what this is, Jodie. I didn't fall for the trap. I sat and drank my wine.